Welcome to Crew Life at Sea podcast. Here, we will share the skills you need to make your experience and adventure out at sea a success. Hear inspiring stories from experienced crew from all diversities. Gain knowledge and know your rights. Be part of the Crew Life at Sea. And let's welcome your host, Raymond Crystal.
Hello and welcome to Crew Life at Sea, the only place where you can find useful information, advice, insights and resources to help inspire you to take that next step in working on a cruise ship. You know, a butler always used to be attired in a special uniform, distinct from the junior servants. But today, a butler is more likely to wear a business suit or a business casual clothing and appear in a uniform only on special occasions. Pradeep, tell me, do you enjoy wearing a suit?
It's always fun to wear a suit even if you're tired, and it has to be always ironed and presentable. So
Yes.
it is fun to wear a suit
You always have to
even
wear a
on
suit.
a 40 degrees centigrade sunny day. You have to wear a
I
suit.
can imagine. Well, welcome to the show, Pradeep. It's
Thank
an
you so
honor to
much.
have you. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to this point in your life?
Well, I always wanted to be in a hospitality industry, and I started my career as a waiter. And then when I got an opportunity to work in Dubai as a butler, I took this opportunity to work as a butler. Then I came to know about butler services, household servant, how it began, the butler service, how it began, and it made me very interesting to take care of guests in personal life. And
Dubai, yeah? How long
yes,
were you in Dubai for?
5 years in Dubai, and
I
then
worked there also.
yes,
I worked in,
and then when I joined Dubai, I learned about cruise ships butler service, and I got an opportunity to work in Sea Line. Then I grabbed this opportunity to not only serve the guests but also to travel around the world, look into places and serve the guests.
Oh, wow. So how long were you a butler before you became a butler manager?
I was a butler for almost 10 years
Wow, that's a long time. So you know the business in and out.
so far.
So where'd you work in Dubai? Because I worked in Le Meridian, Manasiahi, and that's next to the Royal Mirage. Do you remember? Next to the Royal Mirage
Yes,
there?
I worked for Burj Al Arab.
Burj Al Arab?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
also I
my
went-
first hotel as a
Wow.
butler.
Right at the top with that little hotel where you step out.
Helipad.
Yeah, and you look down,
yes,
you it's like so high.
yes, that was my hotel in
Wow.
Dubai.
So how many years at sea have you been?
Now 8 years.
8 years at sea.
Yes.
8 years at sea, and in how many years in Dubai?
5 years in
5
Dubai.
and 8. Wow, so you've been around, eh?
13 years.
So what does a butler manager do on board?
On board, butler manager is in charge of in-suite dining, butler services, personalized wardrobe management, packing and packing, show around of ship facilities, onboard services, laundry, delivery, valet service, and what else? In-suite cocktail parties. I'm in charge of all of this.
It's a lot of things for one man. Do you have like a notepad or something, or do you remember everything?
Yes, I do take notes, and I do have my computer, so I have to keep reminding myself what is the plan of action next time.
Reminder.
Yes, that's true.
So, can you tell me the process if somebody wanted to work on board as a butler manager? How did you get this job, or did you have to start as a butler to
I
become?
did started as a butler to become a butler manager. I was a butler for like almost 3 years, and then I became a senior butler. It's like a head butler who's in charge of butlers, and then I was trained as a butler manager. So it's like when you're a butler, you're already getting trained for a senior butler. You need to have that interest to become the butler manager, or you need to have a goal or an aim to become a butler manager.
I didn't even know that. That's very interesting. So
if you're a butler manager now, I'm already doing rooms divisions or a hotel director's job, so that I can become the next step. So that will be my next step. So
that's just about perfect, because the next question I was going to ask you is, to become a butler manager, what were the positions you'd have to go through? So it's
So senior butler,
Senior butler.
and then the butler manager.
And then the butler manager. And is
Yes.
there some sort of time period, or just doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't
depends,
matter. As far as you have a right attitude, you are at the right time and the right place,
Ship
you
life.
get it.
Right time, right place, baby.
Yes.
That's it. So, as a butler manager, you must have some employees working under you. What are their duties?
As a butler, they have a particular section of guests, like maximum up to 15 suites they
Okay.
handle. Each, I have a department of 15 people working under me. We have valet butlers and in-suite butlers.
Have you had any issues with your team, and how do you handle these issues? Because it must come up a lot.
Well, issues in the sense it's a cultural difference sometimes. People get culture shock when they come from basically a land-based hotel and work through the ship. It's totally different from their working hours differ. We don't get offs as regular land-based hotels in the
Okay.
ship life. They don't get off. They have to work continuously, and when there is deep cleaning or something, they have to put up their extra hours. That makes them really sometimes they come with the issues saying that it's long hours, we don't get
Yeah.
offs, breaks and things like that. Yes, we need to make them understand that they get paid really well than land.
Yeah,
They get
that's
more
why.
double the salary. That's why I choose the job to work on the cruise lines.
Yeah.
So sometimes the issues are always there, but we need to
And their
handle
contracts are 6
6
months?
months,
So
yes,
6
their
months,
contract
not
is
1 day
6
off. They like to complain, and you just got to spank them around, put them in
Yes.
place once in a while, right?
Normally, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But we try to be flexible with them. Sometimes we give them extra time breaks so that they
Yes,
can,
of course.
if there is a nice port where all the guests are out of the ship, so
Yeah.
we have them. We don't need them when the guests are not there.
Okay,
So
yes.
we give them an extra
When
time.
when that
break.
happens, do you correspond with the tour guide to see who's on and off the ship, and then you can
Yes.
see how to go about that?
We always get a tour list about who are going out for the excursion. So depending on how many guests are going,
Yeah.
we can give them a time off.
That's excellent.
things
That's
like
very
that.
nice, actually. Talking about guests, when
Yes.
you have unhappy guests and they say, "Call me the butler manager," and you come there, and all of a sudden this woman's like got a knife, she wants to kill you. How do you get through that?
Well, we need to understand why are they unhappy first in the first place.
Okay.
What has exactly? There can only be two reasons. One thing is they're not happy with themselves, or they're not happy with ourselves. So if they're not happy with us, they didn't get what they are asking for.
Yes.
If they don't have it, then they'll definitely complain, and they look for things that they didn't have it. If it is possible to do a local purchase for us, we will definitely make them happy.
Uh-huh.
But if we can't provide what they need, then we will try to give an alternative, but we'd never say no.
Yes, of course.
Yes. So,
But
and
that's-
if they call us and complain, we stay calm, take notes what they're exactly looking for, try to give them suggestions and alternative, and then me go to my supervisor and
And speak
ask,
to
this
them.
is what the guest needs, so is there anything that we can give them to make them happy? And most probably 99% we try to accommodate their request, and we do a local purchase normally.
Yes.
It's a special liquor, or could be a small
It
tea
helps.
or a soft drink,
Yeah,
could
it
be a
helps.
special rum from Caribbean, or a Scotch whiskey from Scotland. Anything could be,
Yeah.
but we'll try to make them happy,
Yeah, just to get that smile on their face.
or give them a good bottle of Dom Perignon or a crystal champagne to make them happy.
Wow, yeah, I can imagine, because if I was a guest and I had issues, and then all of a sudden I would come into my cabin and there's this beautiful gift that really sparks, they'll change their mind very quickly.
True,
It's that
true.
deliver the wow kind of thing, eh? Wow. So, tell me a little bit about your hours and your how do you schedule your day?
Well, it always depends on the port which we arrive. The
Mhm.
port, if we arrive early, we have to start early. Normally, the ports we dock at around 8 o'clock. So butlers normally start at 6:30. So have to be there at 6:30, 7 o'clock.
So you wake up
depending.
at 6
Yeah.
to be there at 6:30 every day.
6:30, 6, 7 o'clock. And if it is a sea day, we start at like 7, 7:30, depending on how many breakfasts do we have in the morning service, and it depends on how busy it's
Yeah.
going to be in
And
in
then
suite dining.
And then you work a couple hours, have a break.
The butlers finish normally at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then so I have to be there till 1 o'clock, and then we go on a short break till the butlers start at 4, so I start at
same time, yeah,
same time. And then they sign out at 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
What happens if you ever get sick?
Well, so far, touch wood, I didn't get sick on board. But if I get sick, yes, we have a senior butler.
The senior butler would take over.
My supervisor, who will be the rooms division manager, who will take care of the department.
I was just thinking about that, because you kind of a unique job. You got to handle all of it. So if anything has to happen to you, it could be a bit of a problem. Don't get sick, Pradeep.
Thank you.
So living on board can be kind of tough. How is your accommodation space, and what are your benefits as a butler manager?
Well, butler manager, I have entitlement to stay in a single cabin. So my cabin is really facilitated with a suite attendant who's cleaning my cabin, so I don't have to clean really my beds and my towels, my linen, everything has been taken care. My laundry has been taken care. My personal uniform has been taken care.
And people want to live and work on land. Hello.
Well, since I'm in charge for in-suite dining, so they would not say no if I'd like to order something.
So I'm coming to you when I'm hungry. I'm gonna give you a call. Say, Pradeep, I need some food.
So
and I
never sleep hungry.
That's
so
good for
I
you,
can
man.
always have something before I go for sleep. So
wow,
that's one of the benefit I can have.
Excellent. I think I'm going to put in an interdepartmental transfer tomorrow and try to get into your position and steal your job. So, knowing what you know now in your career at sea, if you could change one thing, what would it be and why?
Well, I would definitely change the working hours and giving some extra off for the people who is working on sea. They have to plan on this, and that's the only thing.
I think because I know you from when I've met you, I can see you're a very nice person, and you can see the people that really work hard, that deserve that little bit of time, and for them to get it,
it should not be like a weekly off, but at least once in a fortnight, like a 15 days, 1 day off, or in a month. That would really help the people to at least they can concentrate on, okay, I'm getting an off on this day at this month, so I can carry on. So
I know it really does help. It does a lot.
1 day off.
So imagine your toughest day you've ever experienced at sea. Now tell me about it and how you got through it.
Well, the toughest day was when we were about to almost fail public health, and
what is the public health? What is that?
Like we get external inspectors coming on board to check our public health inspections, and we almost got through there, but that was the toughest day. So every crew member has to work really hard every night, almost 14 to 18 hours a day, to make sure that everything is in place, the logs, the temperatures, the food hygiene, and the area, everything is clean. So that was the toughest.
Do they check the guest cabins? No.
Not really the guest cabins, but yes, the crew and the guest kitchen and the galley
of course,
areas,
all the foodies and all those kind of things.
Yes, to make sure that everything meets our
that's very difficult stuff. I know that they like come on board and they have these glasses and these little inspector, like little scientific gadgets, and they tested everything, and you're looking at them like going, just I wish I could just get you out of my face. We worked so hard last night, and you come in here to ruin everything.
And normally it happens on a turnaround day, which makes us more difficult for us to manage the time to prepare the suites and keep them ready for the guest, as well as to pass the inspection. It makes a bit difficult job, but yes, we have to go through it.
Of course,
we have to pass it to show the certificate, to show everybody, yes, we passed, and we can make it. That's more important.
Have you ever worked on a big ship also?
Well, the maximum passenger capacity which I worked on a big cruise ship was 550.
Okay, so that means no.
So we are a small cruise luxury
yes,
industry.
But I think also butlers and butler managers don't work on the big ships. That's why.
Yes, normally butler service is a specialist in handling suites,
Yes,
not
yes.
the cabins or
small
small
suites, small
rooms or
ships and
something.
small things like that. Yeah.
And yes, luxurious suites
course.
and royal grand owner suite and things
The
like
big
that.
money spenders.
True.
Yeah. So, tell me your negatives and positives of your job.
Well, positives are
That you
have
can eat
to-
any time of the day and night.
No, we make people happy. We make their life easier. We
course.
prepare for them to be organized, taking care of their dresses, their shoe shine, their laundry, their grooming, their sweets, everything. The negative would be not really a negative thing, but yes, we don't have enough time for us. Yes, only to get up, shower, take care of ourselves, but we do not have enough social time. But of course, it comes with a good pay and a good salary, so we are happy about that.
Once that check comes, you smile in ear to ear. Do you have any safety duties on board?
Yes, we do have safety duties. We have responsibility to evacuate passenger because passenger comes first in case
Yes.
if there is an emergency.
But you specifically, what do you have to do?
I take care of the evacuation team, so
Okay.
I have a section which I need to evacuate guests from the suites,
Okay, so
and
you do
I
the
need
guests.
to send them to the muster station to make them mustered and go to the lifeboat.
Okay. So, normally, every single show, I have a big question that I ask everyone. I've had some cool stuff, some crazy stuff, and some unbelievable stuff. Tell me the most shocking thing you have ever encountered or seen in your career at sea in your 8 years. There's got to be something.
I've seen a memory loss guest who's walking naked in the thinking that he's coming out of the bathroom. He came out of the suite and walking around
Male?
corridor because a male and a female 2 times actually locked out of the suite and didn't know where to go, so we had to run, give them bathrobes and cover themselves. To find out, we don't know their exact suite numbers, so we have to check their faces in the reception and try to find their suite numbers and
So
send
you
them in the suite.
walking around with these naked people saying, "Hold on, we have to check on the system to see your facial recognition."
Yeah, that happens normally when people are sleepy and they don't know whether they're opening the main door or the bathroom doors, because the bathroom door and the main doors are almost interlinked. So
That's correct.
that's the most shocking things I've ever.
That's a good one because I haven't had one of those. Right? Wow, man. So, has working at sea changed your life?
Too many things. Yes,
Yes.
I have my own house after working. in
Oh,
my
congratulations.
sea, so
I wish you
thank
the best of luck. I haven't got there yet, but one day. Your own house in Goa or
in Bangalore.
Bangalore?
Yes.
Is that bigger, smaller than?
It's a capital city of South India.
Okay.
It's called the IT city now.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
very developed. It used to be a garden city, but now they call it the IT capital of
Capital,
India.
Excellent,
So,
man. Maybe one day. I've been only to Mumbai with the ship, but I haven't been actually to the inland. It's inland, right? It's inside. Is it sea based or
No, it's not
yeah,
sea-based.
inland.
No.
So you've been at sea for 8 years. Why do you keep coming back?
Salary.
It's the easy life.
It's a easy life. 6 months contract. I get 2 months vacation, 2 to 3 months vacation, which I have no disturbance. I don't have to report to anybody. I can spend all this complete 2 months with my family. That's more important.
It's amazing.
Though if I work on land, I will get 1 day off in a week, which I will have plans. But see, 2 months don't have to do.
Don't get in my
nothing.
way. These are my 2 months. I'll sleep late every night, every day. I'll do what I please. Okay. So, if anybody wanted to work as a butler manager in this industry, what would they have to do in their country, or in your country? What did you have to do?
Well, first they have to have experience as a butler manager in my country or any other country to
Okay.
do that. But if they have experience on sea as
Yeah.
a butler or a butler manager,
It's easier.
But if they don't have any experience at sea and if they have to join as a butler manager, then they have to start from being a
Scratch.
butler. then they have to.
So, what is your favorite port of call and why?
Well, Santorini, Greece. Is
Why?
my favorite
Because?
port of call, and the place is
Beautiful.
just
The
simply
blues and the
beautiful.
whites.
The blues and the whites.
Yeah.
And especially taking this cable car on top.
Oh,
and
I was
looking
about
at
to
the
say, if
sea.
you said donkey, I would be so angry because we just spoke recently with the RDM and she was telling me, or I think it was, no, it was Moani Lee, one of my other guests, and she was telling me how these guests get onto those poor donkeys. And those donkeys
I would
are
not
suffering.
do
eh?
that.
Hey,
I
you
would
see
never
that?
do that.
It's terrible, eh?
I would take
Oh
the
my
cable
God,
car,
cable
look
car,
at
yeah.
this place from the top
Yeah.
and my ship from the top. would
That's
be
it. Have you had the
beautiful.
gyros, the Greek gyros?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Greek yogurt.
How good is it? It's tzatziki.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's
eh?
beautiful.
Yeah, at least you've had it. The other one's like, oh, what's a gyro? So, is there anything else that maybe you'd like to end it off with, or tell any of the viewers out there that maybe they should be ready for or something?
So, well, if you have to work on the ship, be your best and make sure that whatever you give, it's not 100% but 200%. To be ready and never give up.
Yeah, that's
Times
it.
will pass. You will have a hard time, tough time, but time will
Perseverance.
pass. But you will have enjoyment, and you have a time which you can remember always in the future. You can tell your grandson and your family that yes, I have seen the 7 continents of
And
the
I
world.
did it. Well, Pradeep, thank you so much to be on my show. I really enjoyed it. It was amazing.
Thank you.
I'll be coming over to you tomorrow night for a dinner, room service. Thank
Definitely,
you.
Raymond. You're always welcome. And this is my first show. I never know how people will take it, but thank you very much.
It will be amazing. This is just to help the people to experience and understand what it's like to be at sea. And you've done a great job, and I thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond.
Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Crew Life at Sea podcast. Want any of your questions answered? Send us an email at crewlifeatseainfogroup.com. Thank you for being a part of our adventure at sea.